Imagine you just finished filming and there's this one scene where the dialogue sounds like this. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Using only your video editing software and a bit of free AI, you can make it sound like this. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Let me show you how. Hi, I'm Thomas from News on Audio, and today I would like to show you how you can make your dialogue sound cinematic in post-production. I'll be using Premiere Pro, but the tools I will use are available in any other video editing software as well. First, I'll show you a free AI tool to get rid of the background noise, and in the second part we will actually make that sound polished and cinematic. Let's get into it. We all get bombarded with new AI tools every day, but there is one that really stood out to me, Auphonic. I'm not sponsored by them, but listen to this. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. To me, that's really impressive, especially when compared with other tools such as the newly released Enhanced Speech in Premiere Pro, which doesn't remove all the noise and kinda makes me sound like I'm talking into a pillow. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. But even the result from Auphonic still doesn't sound perfect. By default, Auphonic applies a few other effects other than noise removal, but personally, I like to turn those off. I think we can do a much better job at doing that ourselves, which I will show you in the second part of this video. To use Auphonic and to turn those extra effects off, you can simply drag and drop your audio on the Auphonic website, and from the drop-down menu create your own preset. Then from the Audio Algorithms tab, you simply unselect everything except the noise reduction. For noise removal, I like to use the Keep Voice, Remove Everything Else settings. Also, by default, Auphonic usually applies a maximum amount of noise reduction level, but you can tweak this here. If your audio is really noisy, the maximum reduction clears it, but it may affect the voice quality and leave some artifacts behind. Let's listen to a more noisy recording of David Attenborough. I'll play you the original first, and then I'll apply the maximum noise reduction.
There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging glances with a gorilla. There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging glances with a gorilla.
The word gorilla becomes basically inaudible at the end here. If we however apply only medium noise reduction,
there is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging glances with a gorilla.
For the clip I've played you at the start, I've used the maximum noise reduction without affecting the voice quality, but I recommend you just put your audio through the app and listen to what amount of reduction works best for your situation. If you're working on a film, however, leaving some ambient and background noise in the recording might actually be a good thing, but we will cover that later in the video. Since we're already in the preset settings, you can optimize your output files by selecting a 24-bit wave format, which is the industry standard format for uncompressed audio, and by ticking the mono box. The reason we want our dialogue in mono is because in film, dialogue doesn't need to move around between the left and right channel, like some sound effects might. Keeping it in mono ensures that the dialogue remains consistently in the center of the mix and doesn't jump from left to right, which would make it hard to be clearly heard by the audience across all the seats in a cinema or at home. Now that we've removed the background noise, let's apply some audio effects to make this sound good. The layout of each of the effects might look slightly different in your editing software, but the values and functions will still be the same. First, we will adjust the frequencies. Right now, you're seeing the frequency range of my voice. The average human voice goes from around 80 Hz to 12,000 Hz. There are frequencies in this range that are making my voice sound crisp and full, and there are also frequencies that are making my voice sound dull and empty. We want to boost the former and reduce the latter. To do this, we use parametric EQ. First, let's apply a high-pass filter at 80 Hz and a low-pass filter at 12,000 Hz, which reduces all frequencies under or above those points. Because the human voice doesn't reach into these frequencies, you might only have undesired noise in these areas, such as mic hits or rustling noise. The area between 100 and 200 Hz is where the depth of the voice is and can often make your voice sound fuller, as you can sometimes hear with those trailer announcements.
There is a place only spoken of in legend.
If you find your dialogue sounding too thin, boosting this area can help that. Make sure not to overdo it, however, otherwise the voice can get boomy. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. The mid-range between 300 and 600 Hz is where you can often find the boxiness of the voice. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. As you can probably hear, this is most often not desirable, and placing a cut in this place can really help if you think your dialogue is sounding quite boxy. The high end between 6 and 12,000 Hz is an area that can add a lot of clarity and crispiness to the voice. If the voice sounds muffled, which can sound something like this is the area where you can help that by applying a boost. Or if your voice is overly sibilant and piercing, a cut in this area can help make it less harsh. Now, these are all guidelines that can often take you in the right direction. However, each voice and each microphone is different, so the important thing is always to listen. When looking for frequencies that do or don't sound good in your situation, I recommend taking one of these points, boosting it by around 15 dB, and just sliding it around and listening to what frequencies stick out to you as good and which ones as bad. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Remember the David Attenborough clip? Look at the waveform and think if there is something that could be a problem. Notice those waveform peaks? They're too loud compared to the rest of the audio. This means in some part the dialogue would be too loud and in others too quiet, making the listening experience uncomfortable. Compression evens out the dialogue by turning those peaks down. You can imagine it as playing the game Limbo. Anything that wants to pass to the other side just has to duck down. The same way, any audio above a certain level passing through a compressor is going to get lowered. To do this, we use a compressor. The threshold sets how much compression we will be applying. For dialogue, set this so that you're applying about 3 to 6 dB of compression, which you can see on the meter here. Attack speed affects how quickly compression starts to act after audio crosses the threshold. Aim for 5 to 15 milliseconds to keep the dialogue dynamic yet natural. Faster attack can really help you tighten the dynamics, but setting it too fast can make the performance sound lifeless. You can stick with 2:1 ratio and around 150 milliseconds release for dialogue. After reducing the louder peaks, the dialogue might be quieter than you want. To make up for that, you can use the gain, which will increase the overall volume of the dialogue.
There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging glances with a gorilla. There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging glances with a gorilla.
De-essing is another form of compression that focuses solely on syllables. These can be overly harsh in some voices, which can sound something like this. Using a de-esser, we can target these frequencies directly to reduce them. Every de-esser will allow you to adjust the main frequency, which will usually be somewhere between 5 to 8 kHz, depending on the voice. If you use the output sibilants only, you can slide around and listen where these syllables might be the most prominent. Once you find the right frequency, adjust the threshold to be applying around 3 or 4 dB of reduction. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Life is a journey filled with lessons, laughter, and the occasional leap of faith. Now, if you're applying this processing for film dialogue, there are still two major things lacking. The reverb and ambience, which got reduced by applying the maximum noise reduction. A dialogue that's completely dry will not sound natural in a film because any kind of environment will have a reverb and some kind of background noise. For guidance on how to seamlessly integrate the ambience and reverb into your dialogue, you can visit NewZone Audio website and sign up for our free membership trial. You'll gain access to the exclusive tutorials, including those on reverb and ambience, If we just insert that cleaned up dialogue back into the scene, this is going to happen.
So, what's good here?
Listen, we need to talk.
And you will be able to join our dedicated Discord channel where you can get one-on-one support from me to ensure your project sounds amazing, and where we also discuss the latest tricks and AI tools to make audio as easy and simple for you. You can head to newzone.audio to sign up for free and make your films sound amazing without any complicated workflows. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I thank you for watching. See you next time.